Hi everybody, my name is Nan, and I am the owner and founder of Breakthrough M2, and this is my wonderful partner in crime and daughter, Mikayla.
Hello.
And I'm sure most of you know us, but there's probably a lot of people who are going to see this that might not know us. So this whole series, we're going to do six videos, and we are going to just put out the most amazing journey that we've taken in building a business and then closing it down. And it has been quite the book with so many chapters, and we're going to boil it down to 6 chapters. And it's exciting, and you will see that we have gone through every emotion on the emotional scale ever.
That's definitely a journey worth the share, and we want to share that with the community here, and just also throughout, just appreciating every step along the way, you know, the entire, like you said, spectrum and the ups and downs of the journey, and there's a lot of ups. And yes. So thank you for being here.
Yes.
So Nan, we're talking about your start to even discovering this opportunity of losing weight. How did your journey begin?
For 22 years, I had just terrible time losing weight, keeping it off. I was very thin my whole young life. I got pregnant unexpectedly at the age of 18. I put on 60 pounds during that pregnancy because I ate every emotion that I had. 8 months after having my first child, I had a second child, and I gained more weight there. I lost some, but a lot of that weight stayed on. So I literally went from an 18-year-old, 145-pound young woman to a 20-year-old, 195-pound mother and wife in 2 years. That set me on a trajectory to try to lose the weight. I felt like I need to reclaim myself, get my body back, and it just was on and on with disappointment after disappointment with so many diets and things that I had tried. Well, 27, I had you. And then when I was 30, I went to college. And so that now I have 3 kids in college. And then I graduated from college, put myself aside throughout that whole time, just went to Little League games, did everything I could just to get through kids, college, married life, all of that. Graduated college at 36, landed a great job in Goshen, and I began teaching high school math around 37, 38 when I was out there. And when I was 40, I was 5'10", 205 pounds, and I was bigger than some of the Goshen high school linebackers.
A lot of women.
I was a lot of women walking down that hallway. My aunt, who was also on weight loss journey her whole life, is 60 years old at the time. She found Dr. Simeon's protocol. She lived in Florida. She, shared it with me, and I'm like, I am not doing any more dieting. I did MetaFast, and I lost 35 pounds in 3 months. I gained 25 back in 5 weeks. I was done. I was so done with dieting and so just angry. It just didn't work, and I didn't understand why the weight was coming back, because I wasn't cheating and I wasn't being bad and I wasn't doing stupid things, and it was just so frustrating. So I decided I'm just gonna have to be fat and happy like Oprah and just move on. A year later, my aunt told me about the program she did. She put me in contact with the person that she worked through, and it took me 3 months. I was reading it because at first I'm like, no way, I'm not doing anything more with dieting. And then, I ended up getting it. I started the program in October of 2011, and by December of 2011, I had lost 35 pounds. I decided to take a break because I needed to get through the holidays and midterms and all that. And then January of 2012, I went back on the program that is Breakthrough M2 now. I lost another 15. So I ended up losing 50 pounds in about 65 to 70 days, somewhere in there. And I kept it off for many, many years. And it was just such a huge victory for me. At that point, people were asking me how I did it. I was giving, the guy in Florida, I was giving them his business card. After about 15 people or so, I'm like, I really enjoy this. I love telling people how to be successful like this. I never thought that I would be able to help people be successful in weight loss because I was never successful. I was teaching people. So I was still using that gift of teaching that I had, which was just so fulfilling for me.
Yeah.
And it ended up that I started, selling his supplement up here in New York. And then I ended up breaking off from him later on. The funny thing is that when I first emailed him in December of 2011, I was crying, just tears of joy, just writing him, so thankful that he has this program put together. I just said, if there's anything I can ever do to support you in your business, let me know. And about a month or so later, he contacted me back, and then we started talking about doing the business. And I was so excited about it. And then what happened was I was doing some research, and I found some really bad reviews about him. And I got scared. And so I told your dad, I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to go into business with this guy. I'm not doing it. So we decided that, it's all good. It's probably good that, you didn't get caught up in something bad. And it was probably about a week after that decision that I had made, I decided to go back in and check the resource or the posts and the things that were said about him. And when I went back and took a second look, I realized that all the different bad reviews were coming from one person. And I'm like, wait a second. So then I started doing more research, and I'm like, this is one person that either doesn't like him or is just tearing him up for no reason. I don't know. But it was not like this systemic problem. It was one person. So I was in the car with your dad, and we were coming to pick you up.
Basketball practice.
Yeah. And we were driving there, and I said to him, I need to talk to you. And I said, I've been doing a little more research, and I don't think this guy is a bad guy. I think that, this is definitely something that I think that I really want to do. I really want to do this business. I want to open up my own weight loss place. And I said, I feel like if we don't do it, it's literally like leaving a winning lottery ticket on the side of the road. And that's how I felt. I felt that this was going to be such a blessing to us and other people. I had to do it. And I was just not going to take no for an answer. And so we had a discussion, and, afterwards he's like, all right, well, what's the worst that could happen? We decided to make the investment. And then you got in the car.
Yeah. Yeah. And obviously I knew that this conversation was going on for a little while for you guys even considering this business, because people were in our house and, you were sharing the house,
calling.
Yeah. Like it was a very big part of our life at that point. It was just kind of building steam. And when this idea of owning your own business came to view, I was like, that is an amazing idea. I love that. And I was sad when they said no, like, we're not going to do it. And then when I got in the car and you guys told me that you are going to do it, I was overjoyed. I literally remember sitting there in the parking lot like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Like, this is going to be so good.
Yeah, so it was exciting.
It was very exciting.
It was. So then I went on this whole track of building a website, a very small one, and doing all these different things, getting my business cards, coming up with the name. I named it Breakthrough because that is exactly how I felt. I felt like I had a breakthrough. I want other people to have a breakthrough in this part of their life because it's so frustrating. And everybody hates dieting. We all just want to figure this thing out. And I really felt like I had figured it out. In March of 2012 is when I officially launched the business, got the bank account, got everything going. Then it was like more people were calling, more people were coming to the house. I was meeting more people over here and over there, and I was trying to do schoolwork and do homeworks and raise you guys. I was meeting people at this coffee place and that, and dragging along supplement with me and putting manuals in that I was printing at home. And
Yeah.
just doing all this stuff. And by June, I was so inundated with the business. I took it to a guy at the Chamber of Commerce, Eric, and I said, I just pushed my composition book over to him with all my numbers written down. And he's like, what is this? I go, I need you to tell me if I can quit my job teaching.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right. So he called me about 4 days later. He's like, you're definitely pulling enough money to cover your salary. You're doing great. Keep doing whatever you're doing. And I'm like, oh my God.
And didn't you just get tenure the year before?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just got tenure.
Yeah.
And I mean, Goshen's a great school district, and I loved it. I loved teaching. I loved high schoolers. I love math. I loved the job. But I decided that I am going to just cut ties nicely, not burn bridges, but yes, I'm setting the bridge on fire, but not in a mean way. So I went in June. In June, I went into the principal's office and I said, I have to give you my resignation. And him and the vice principal were just shocked. They're like, why? And I'm like, yeah.
Aw.
What about a hiatus? What about just taking a break from us? What about, I'm like, I can't. I said, because if I give myself a way out, if something goes, if it gets hard over here, I might quit because I have a thing to fall back on. I said, this is going to force me either sink or swim.
Yeah.
And I'm going to know if this was, if this was meant for me or not. I said, I have my teaching license. I can always teach again. Nobody can take that from me, right? So I quit. And then I started building this business.
So yeah, you went from our local church.
Yeah, instead of meeting people here, there, and everywhere 25, 30 times a week, I came up with the idea of 2 time frames every week, no matter what. I'm going to be at the church. I'm going to be at this location, this day, this time.
Hosting seminars.
Every Monday, every Saturday, I was giving a seminar, a free seminar for people to come and learn about the diet. And I'd stand up in front of people with my PowerPoint and I'd go through the whole program. And it was great. I mean, there were nights where people didn't show up, but I kept those time frames. And I knew that if I kept the time frame, eventually it would get out. Oh, she's at this place at this time. That's where she'll be.
Yep.
And it worked.
So yeah, I remember being there for many of seminars, obviously. But from the church, then you found the office building in Walden, our first office building officially.
Yeah. I rented an office space because it was scary moving from what I was doing to the church. And then it was scary moving from the church to thinking, okay, maybe I should rent a place because this stuff is literally taking over the dining room and half the kitchen now. So we didn't have a dining room. That was my office.
Right.
And, so it was time. And it was a little scary. And even when I decided to, I quit my job at Goshen. And then there was one day, like, driving in and, like, after I did that, like halfway through June, I called your dad. It was like 7 a.m. and I'm crying. I'm like, what if I made a mistake? What if I should have done this?
The fear, the risk of fear.
Or
fear
it came
risk.
over me bad. And so he had to like walk me off the ledge. And you know how he did it? He goes, well, it's done now.
Yeah. Sink or swim.
It's done now. But he assured me. He's like, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. If you ever need that job, he goes, they'll hire you back. Okay, But yeah, and then moving into the office space, that was so exciting.
It was.
We put up our first sign. We opened up a space in the middle for seminars. Mm-hmm. I had the space in the front for all the products and the cash register area.
Yep.
That was my little office space. The checkout. Yeah, it was so
the back we had our shipping department, and then
we had 3 spaces.
4.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The 4th space was.
4th was for nutrient and body sculpting. That we'll talk about later. But
yeah.
It was a great building.
It was great. I built the business the first year, and then I was in the office space for 2 years by myself. And then your dad left FedEx, and it was time for him to just join me and help me because the business was healthy enough where it was supplying what we needed at the home,
But you also needed help.
But I didn't want to hire somebody.
Right.
And
he did it too. He lost 72 pounds himself.
In 72 days.
Yeah, men are always do great. Yes.
Men.
So it's a great early success story.
It really is.
Yeah.
He did so great.
Yeah.
I mean, he just stuck to it, didn't budge, and just
loved his cucumbers.
Loved cucumbers. Yeah.
And
he just did great on it. So he was a walking billboard for us. And you know, you had suggested opening up the Facebook group while we were in that office.
Yeah. Before I joined.
Because it was like, we were trying to answer all these questions. And I wanted to get, and I even said, you know, I need to give some people a place to just, isn't there, what can we do? And then you're like, well, there's groups.
Facebook is maturing at that
I didn't know. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What's a group?
Well, then I call him Brian, but my dad. Brian became the king of Facebook and honestly the king of customer service.
He was so good at it.
He was really, you know,
answering
great,
questions.
Great job, Dad. Yeah. He did amazing at
he
customer
was
service.
very, very nervous in the first 3 months when he was with me.
I'm sure. I was
oh
too.
My God. Yeah. Like, and I had to keep tutoring him and telling him how to answer questions, especially the medical stuff.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of that medical stuff he just transferred to me. He's like, somebody line 2 for you.
Yeah.
I'll take care of the sales. Here, you take care of that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, and then after hiring Brian, you hired Coach Nadine.
Yeah. My sister-in-law, Nadine. She lost 100 pounds in 6 months. She did phenomenal. I mean, she was so good with understanding the program. And I was trying to run the business, do the seminars, do shipping, you know, help your dad, coach clients. It was so much.
Yeah.
And if I could just get that coaching piece off of my plate to somebody that I knew could answer the questions, it was such a relief. And she did so great.
She did.
Oh my God.
A huge impact with their clients.
Huge.
And just, yeah.
Supporting them, ideas, texting them.
Great customer service.
Oh my God, she was awesome.
Nadine, you're awesome.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like we've all kind of learned the jack of all trades. Like everyone knew how to do almost everything.
Everybody. Yeah. Y'all did.
Well, you had a couple more hires and, you know, at least you were able to get shipping covered at that point too. Nutrient Body Sculpt was happening. And then in 2015, when I graduated high school, I joined the group as well.
You did.
As well as other coaches that you hired too, because you know we needed more support for the clients. But at that point, you know, I wanted to join the family business.
Yeah.
We had a 25th wedding anniversary for you and Dad, and I stood up and spoke as a young 17-year-old, and I saw the potential in that moment. I even spoke about the business and how proud I was of them for just helping people, you know, and just the absolute.
It was awesome.
It was a great thing to see unfold.
Family trees were changed.
Family trees are changed. Our family tree was changed.
Yeah, it was.
You know, it was really cool to witness. Actually, I witnessed it since I was 14 years old, because that's when you initially did the program.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
I grew up with this business.
Well, what's interesting is that I had run into a couple of different people that were like business people. The one guy introduced us to Peaks Potentials, and that's also where we found the other organization, CEO Space. So this Peaks Potentials and CEO Space were wonderful organizations that I had gotten involved in, and they had business seminars all over the country, which I took you to at least 3 of them.
Yeah.
That was highly impactful for us. And that's also where I met Coach Paul. Him and I were on the phone and we were deciding what we're going to do, and he said, I would love to come to New York for a few days so we can sit down, hash out your business plan, because the company was growing. And I wanted to plan for a better website. I wanted to plan for a way of offering our clients a one-stop shop with all the education, with all the online store products that they could have right there. I wanted to have all the videos in one spot. I wanted to have, you know, the Breakthrough M2 Bible for them. Like everything, I wanted everything for them as best as we could to make it client central. And it was so important for us to do that. I just felt like I had the ability to do certain things, you know, as far as like organizing myself, but working with people, not everybody had that, you know, the time or the understanding on how to break down the information and make it in small chunks for themselves. So sometimes people were getting overwhelmed with the information and what they needed to do. And so Paul came out.
This was in the spring of 2016.
2016. And we sat down for 3 days and we just hashed out this amazing 1-year plan. What we were going to do month by month. This is the money that we have. This is the money that we know coming in. I had a brand new shipment of drops coming. So that was going to get me through to the end of the year. So that was going to generate, you know, more income, and it was perfect. It was perfect. So we're all set. I get in the car. I'm bringing him back to Stewart Airport, right in Newburgh. It's not very far from where my office was. So we're in the Jeep, we're driving, and we're all excited, and he's talking to me about blah, 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 whatever. And I'm just pulling into the road for the airport, and the phone rings on my Jeep, and it's on speaker, so he's sitting there. And I saw who it was, and it was my manufacturer. And I'm like, hello, Mrs. DeGroat? Yes, this is so-and-so from, you know, whatever manufacturer I was using at the time. I just wanted to let you know that we just had an FDA raid, and they seized and quarantined all of your supplement, and we cannot ship it out. We will be refunding all of your money that you spent on this supplement.
Oh.
Okay. Is there anything that I can do to have them ship it? No. Okay. Hang up the phone. I had to pull over. And Paul looks at me and I look at him like, oh my God. My entire company and 5 employees and all my customers are dependent on that supplement. Oh my God.